First of all, thank you, Dudley, for accepting this interview for Nexus. So today we're going to speak about your career, your life in as a professional AD carry for Joblife, and your maybe some anecdotes or some matches and your goals in your life as an esport player. So first of all, can you introduce yourself briefly for those who don't know you yet, maybe?
So yeah, I'm Dudley. I'm the AD carry for Joblife currently. I've been playing for around 7 years now professionally. I've been pretty much in every ERL. I guess I'm well known for mostly playing in Giants and BTXO.
How did you start your career in esport, and why did you choose the ADC role?
Actually, okay. First, I started AD carry because I used to play with my mom. My mom plays League as well, or she did, but my mom was a support, and I used to play top, but my mom wanted me to play with her in bot lane, so I ended up playing AD carry just because of that. Because it was like the only lane where there was two people, so it was like the only way I could play with her. But I started getting good by myself because I used to play without her, like because she couldn't play all the time. And then I just got higher rank, and then I couldn't do with her when I was higher rank. I got pretty high that I got reached out by a UK team that wanted me to substitute at an event, at LAN. I think it was called like Insomnia. Insomnia, I think my first Insomnia was like 54, I think I played in, or 52. I don't remember. But I made the team go from like 10th place in the UK LC, like which is like the NOC like 8 years ago, 9 years ago. Actually, 10 years ago, I was 15, I remember. And I made the team go from 10th to the second. We ended up losing a team that was with, I think it was like Lawson, XC Smiley, Hado, Furion, and Rifty, which back then were like OG names in the scene. And we lost to them in the finals, but it was like my first ever event. I didn't even know like this was a thing. I just went because I was like down to just do something new. Because I was 15 in school, and this was a big change for, I don't know, from a hobby to like a liar to like a job, I guess. But I went into this event like completely unaware that esports was a thing, and I ended up coming second, winning enough money for buying my own computer.
Yeah.
And then from then on I just started playing a lot more, and then I started getting like a lot of like offers after this event, so that's when it all started. Yeah.
Speaking of all times, do you have maybe a funny anecdote or a funny moment or markable match? I don't know, during all your career, like all time, all time.
Oof. My probably favorite moment was, I guess, like my pentakill in the LVP finals when Ibai was casting. That was like very hype. We was in Tenerife. It was like a live event, and I was getting a pentakill with Ibai casting, and it was like such a big, like thing. Either that, or it's not like a big thing that happened, but it was a very funny experience. Was when I was playing in BTXL with Marquant and Advien, and was in the EU Master finals against K-Cup, and Advien just misclicked his ultimate and just left me into a 1v5, and then me and Mark ended up like 2v5ing on bot lane together, and it was like pretty funny because Hank didn't trust me. So it was like, I don't know, I bully him even to this day about it.
Speaking about some play, how would you describe your play style? Do you think, a more passive or aggressive?
I think my laning, or in general, I do have like a very aggressive champion pool. I do play champions like Draven and Kalista, which are very aggressive compared to some champs. The more like the league advances, the more like safe the game becomes. It's like the more patient you have to be nowadays and more scaling. Because if you pick like aggressive champions in competitive and it doesn't work out, it's like a very big risk. Whereas you can just pick a normal AD, be patient, and always be reliable or consistent. It's like a big hit or miss. So like, I used to be very aggressive, but now I would say I'm a bit more patient. Yeah.
In the current meta, what do you think is the biggest challenge as being a professional AD carry player?
To maintaining like being consistent, because like the game is changing all the time. There's like some metas where AD carry just feels useless, that you have no impact on the game, and then there's another meta that's like AD carry is the most important and that you have to be super reliable. So it's like being consistent throughout and having good like impact on the games. I think that's like the most crucial. Always maintaining your mechanics and always being like you know, fresh, always climbing solo queue, always playing the game, because I think like as an AD carry, if you're not playing all the time, you're a bit rusty and you're not as like fast. So it's like, yeah, you just gotta maintain shape.
Yeah, so you think that there's a difference maybe maybe between some AD carry in ERL and maybe some EDC players?
I think currently like the big difference between ERL and the thingy is probably mechanics. Like if you see like the clicks, like for example Kalist, when he was like just starting, you could see like this guy had a lot of potential because of how cocky he was with his clicks. Yeah, he's very confident, and that's the big difference between ERL ADs and high level ADs. Is like you can see by their clicks, they're not afraid to like make a mistake because they're so confident that they're not making a mistake. So it like turns out really good when they do manage to pull it off. So yeah, I think that's probably the difference.
Speaking about other players, is there maybe a player or a team that particularly inspired or maybe keeps inspiring you during your career?
Honestly, I think the team or the players that actually stood out to me was 2019 G2 when they were swapping around perks and caps, the AD and mid. He kind of like changed the game and the meta back then. Also, I was a big fan of Umajan, Perks' rename. I think his Zaya was the best in the world, and he was able to be like the only AD carry to play majors on bot in worlds. And obviously, he took the West to the finals, and for me, he was like a very big. Like he's not like hyped, you know, at all, or people don't really mention him. But I think like actually Umajan was one of the best Saya Kaisa players in that meta. So Umajan, or I guess I could just say Ruler, because Ruler's always been consistent for the last 6-7 years. Is probably the best AD carry since Uzi's downfall.
Quick question, it's funny because you talked about G2 in 2019, which we made to the finals of the world. Who do you think would win, like today? We take the players from G2 of 2019 at their prime level, and we take, for example, Carmine Corp in finals of the first 10. Would win, you think?
2019 G2. I mean, we scrimmed them as well when we was in Giants, and they're the only team to actually compete with the best in the world, like at a very like I would say at a confident level, you know, like not like a very close series or whatever. They was managed to beat a lot of the top teams. I think K-Cup were also the same, and I think Kalist also has like the potential to be one of the best in the world. But I think 2019 Caps was like the best in the world besides Faker. They had so much versatile as well. They could play anything in any role. I think also Wonder and Yankos was like top in their, like everyone was all like top 3 in their positions. Whereas G2, I would say only like Vladi and Kalist is like top in their positions in the world. Obviously in Europe they're still the top, but in the world they're not all at the top level, unlike G2 was.
Speaking about a big match, we know that an important match is not about only the game, but also the preparation. How do you personally like prepare mentally and also maybe physically before a big competition or an important match during the season, play-in, play-off, whatever?
I think before events, mostly it's like to get it as relaxed as possible. Like to just get proper relaxed. So it's like just chill, you know, by yourself and put some music on, and try to like mentalize what you were gonna do in game with like the idea of the champion that you're gonna play. Because most teams have like a draft meeting before games, so you kind of have like an idea what you're gonna play in that game. So it's like mentalize like what you're gonna do, and how you're gonna play it. I think like actually it's a very popular thing in footballers. Like footballers do it a lot. Like before they go into games, is like mentalize it. But it's something that I started doing since Giants days, and it's always helped. And then also like just trying to relax, listen to music, just get in the zone.
If you had to give maybe some advices for young players, we know that there is a lot of really young players, like maybe 15 or even 16 years, that play now in new, how could we say, new academic teams to bring there to the top level some years after. What would be your top advices for those upcoming maybe next faker of Europe, I would say?
Honestly, like it's just if you want it, you just gotta work for it. Cause like you can't just have raw talent. It's like very rare. It's like 1 in a million. Like raw talent is not as good as like work ethic. Like if you want to be the best, you gotta work for it. You're not like just born like that. So it's like just keep grinding, and results will come. Offers will come. You know, just I don't know. If you want to be the best, get rank 1. Like look at Killers. This guy was getting really high rank permanently, and now he's probably the best AD carry in the West. So it's just you keep grinding, just get results, and it's gonna be rewarded.
Let's speak about of your career in Joblife. Can you maybe explain us how you arrived in Joblife? Maybe was this a choice or maybe an opportunity? Like how could we say? Maybe a following of coincidences and everything that happens that led you to join Joblife.
Well, last year I played in second division France. I got promoted with EC Japan. I had
Yeah.
good results throughout the entire year. I think 2024 I had like a 80% win rate in competitive, which was pretty good. We won most games. We won most best of fives. We won all playoffs. We won back to back spring and summer and then promotions. So I went into like this split looking to play in LFL because now in my career I've more or less won every league that I've played in. So for me it's like taking it to the next step. After LFL2 is LFL1, and then got to win here. I had 2 or 3 offers, but I think Joblife came with the fan base. I guess I played at an event with EC Japan in second division at the LFL2 days, and the fans were crazy. Like the fans are just insane. I remember playing in Giants when Giants had a massive fan base, and it was like insane to have big support. It does so much for you, to be like to get like nice messages on social media, to be cheered at events. Like it's such a super nice feeling. So the fan base is massive here in Joblife, and I love it.
Speaking about fan base, it's a good point to speak about it. How do you handle maybe the pressure you put maybe from yourself, but also from the fans? Like we mostly see people speaking on Twitter, but also in the crowd when they are much offline. How do you handle that? Is it something that boosts you, or something that you need to calm and rest to handle it good?
I think as an experienced player, I don't really get affected by what fans say, because some fans are like very passionate and they can be very harsh on social media and send you some very harsh messages. But once you've been playing for a long time, it doesn't really affect you. But for like rookies, I can see it being pretty harming. So like I would say, like if you're not having the best of streak as a rookie, you should probably stay away from it, from social media. But as like an experienced player, it's like you can just use it only as motivation, because once you're experienced and you're not getting results, like it's like you gotta be hard on yourself. Because for me, I'm like hardest on myself after each loss. It's like I'm the hardest. Like no one's gonna be harder on me than, like no words or anything is gonna impact me more than what I'm thinking at that time. So it's like just extra fuel for motivation to keep performing and keep getting results.
What are your short-term goals with Joblife for the upcoming season, and maybe long-term goals personally for you?
For me, winning. Like it's always been winning. Like since the start of my career, it's winning. I have to win no matter like what I'm participating in, whether it's just a Winter Cup, a split, or E-Masters. For me, everything comes down to winning. Right now, for Summer Split, I'm going in like with pretty high hopes. I mean, we showed in last split that we're pretty capable of beating any team. We're capable of being first for the majority of the regular split. So for me, it's like we do have the potential. We can show it. It's just being consistent and showing that we can do it in playoffs. So for me, it's like, yeah, just performing in playoffs and hoping to get really good results to go to EU Masters.
If you had a top 3 of teams that you could give us that you would match, like for example maybe in regular season or best of 3 or best of 5, in the entire world, who would it be?
For me, I think number 1 would be Los Ratones, because 1, I think did EU Master Finals, EU Master winners back to back. They've showed that they have a massive fan base now, and they're like pretty hyped team. So probably Los Ratones in a good game. Other would be Solari, because they kicked us from first place in last play, and they also have a good friend of mine, Mark, on the team. So it's like kind of personal. And then finally, I would probably say EC Japan, because it's the team that they kind of replaced me with. So it's like also kind of personal. It's like they didn't want me from last year. I mean, obviously, if you could get Hamsan D, why wouldn't you? This guy is correct. So I'm glad he went to LEC. But yeah, it would be EC Japan just because it was my previous team. So yeah, Las Rotanas, Solari, and EC Japan.
Interesting. And maybe what team do you prefer screaming? Maybe in ERL and LEC.
For sure an LEC team or like a top team, because even if you're getting smoked, you're probably gonna learn so much from the enemy team. I think that's like a good way to look at it. Like I could say, obviously Genji, I think it wouldn't even be fair, because like it wouldn't. I just know for a fact it wouldn't be like productive. But picking like a middle of the pack or top LEC team, I think would be pretty beneficial. Obviously, we won't win every game, but you're going to be able to learn so much faster from top teams than you are against ERO teams. And that's like something that I know from a previous experience, like playing in top EROs and playing against scrims against LEC, you learn so much faster. Like it's just like you just see what the enemy team is good at, and you kind of implement it in your own playstyle. So for me, it would just be like, I don't know, top team in LEC. Personally, I would like to play against, I don't know, like G2 or Fnatic, I guess. And because I think, or even K-Corp, because I respect the bot lanes of these teams a lot, and I think like I would learn a lot from them as well.
Let's imagine a world where League of Legends doesn't exist. Which game, or maybe which sport, would you choose to maybe try hard as much as you did on League of Legends to become a professional?
I'm probably gonna say FIFA, because I could have went pro in FIFA too. I used to play at the FIFA tournaments as well, so probably FIFA. But I also played for money in Call of Duty as well. I used to wager 2v2s. So I don't know, I was always pretty good at video games.
Competition is in the DNA, seems like.
Yeah, I was always good at like competitive, even like esport games, like FIFA, Call of Duty. But I only played League because my mom forced me to play. Otherwise, I probably would have just continued playing FIFA and COD.
Is she the one that made you discover League, or did you discover it by some friends?
No, my mom actually played before me, so she's the entire reason for me to play this game. Like I didn't want to play.
That's not usual, to be honest.
I was always the console person. It's because one day my mom was making food, and you know, she was making dinner, but she was in a game, and obviously you can't pause League, so she made me play the game, and then I kind of enjoyed it. It was like something new for me, so I ended up, you know, playing League because of that one bot game playing Cho'Gath that my mom was playing. So yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday.
All right, before we end up this, do you have any last words for your fans and the overall esport community?
Yeah, I would just like to thank everyone that supported me for the last 7 years, from the Giants fans to BTXO fans to just, you know, everyone out there, even the Joblife fans now. Even though we haven't had the best of years so far, bringing no titles, keep supporting us, and I'm sure that we're going to prove like this summer that we're going to get something. And in general, just thank you for supporting my teammates. Thank you for supporting everything I do. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you for accepting this interview again, Stanley. We wish you, of course, the best and to win it all, as always.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Have a good night.